What's up guys, it's the Sound Alchemist, and today I am bringing you some pretty epic stuff. If you guys like sword fights, please stay and watch this epic video, because we will not be focusing on one sword wielding guys, or two sword wielding guys, or even three sword wielding guys. This badass wields 4 epic swords of destructions, and yes, they are not made of mere steel, they are stronger than steel and bone. So everybody, get your swords out as we learn about the Tyranids' most epic swordsman, the Swarmlord. The Swarmlord is the legendary Tyranid creature created by the hive mind with the purpose of outthinking the enemy and developing new strategies. When average Tyranid strategies and physical and biological adaptations fail, the Swarmlord arrives. He has destroyed empires and have driven civilizations to extinction, and now he is the foremost Tyranid threat to the galaxy. This monstrous creature is known as the Swarmlord by the Imperium, but he also has many other names, including the Tyrant Lord of the Hive Mind, the Herald of the Great Devourer, and the Destroyer of the Ka-La Empire. The Swarmlord is the pinnacle of the evolution of the hive mind and a truly unique monster. He is essentially immortal like a hive tyrant. As once killed, he is reborn by the hive mind with the exact same experiences, characteristics, and knowledge. In essence, he becomes stronger than his predecessor every time because of these new experiences. But unlike a hive tyrant, the reincarnation of the Swarmlord appears to be a stress-induced response that is triggered only when conventional strategies of the hive mind fail. The Swarmlord's connection with the hive mind is so strong that it can emerge amongst any hive fleet, transcending any physical limitations, separating the different fleets. The Swarmlord has eons of battle experience and bloodshed to draw upon. In fact, some say he is as old as the Tyranid race itself. The Swarmlord isn't just smart, he also wields 4 bone sabers, crackling with disruptive power. These are capable of slicing through adamantium and force fields as if they were nothing. The Swarmlord's bone sabers differ from the commonly seen Tyranid bone swords in that each saber has a crystalline growth upon it. This growth is not indigenous to the galaxy, and at its core, this growth protrudes through the blade's serrated surface and allows the Swarmlord to react to any situation with great speed. The Swarmlord can then parry any attack with these sabers at such speed that his foes find it all but impossible to inflict a hit on the creature. During the Imperium's first encounter with the Tyranids, the Swarmlord led Hive Fleet Behemoth's final assaults against them. His presence was so feared that the Space Marines were utterly decimated against the Swarmlord. The Swarmlord also was seen in the battle for Macragge, especially during the Battle of Cold Steel Ridge. Cold Steel Ridge was an industrial complex on the frozen northern seas of Macragge. It was home to a company of defense auxilia that were reinforced by a Baneblade tank, the pride of Hera. The hive mind had by this point targeted Calgar as the main threat to the Tyranid advance. The Swarmlord, the hive mind's deadliest servant, was dispatched to deal with him. Upon the arrival of the Swarmlord, the turning point of the battle occurred. For the defenders, they were beginning to grasp the near-mindless, rampaging way in which the swarms attacked, but now the Swarmlord's influence infused the Tyranids with a keen strategy. The Ultramarines' left flank was suddenly assaulted by tunneling Raveners, which only served as a diversion to lead the Ultramarines away from the Swarmlord's 2 targets, the pride of Hera. The Baneblade was left wide open for a wave of Carnifexes to rip it apart. Calgar watched as his enemy's tactics unfolded. Gargoyles and harpies preyed upon officers and sergeants of the auxilia units. Biovores bombarded the defenders and forced them to spread out to minimize casualties. but this, in turn, left them vulnerable to Moloch and Trigon attacks. The Ultramarines reacted to each threat with valor and bolstered weakened sections of their lines. However, they were outnumbered and outmatched. The Swarmlord, with a bodyguard of Tyrant Guard and Tyranid warriors, bellowed a challenge to Calgar, and he charged directly towards his position. The Ultramarines rushed to aid their chapter master, but even this movement was planned by the Swarmlord. Hundreds of apparently dead Hormagaunts, stretched across the ground, leapt to sudden life and bogged down the Space Marines, delaying them from reaching Calgar. Captain of the Honor Guard, Aloysius, held back the Tyrant Guard and the Swarmlord in a suicidal assault, allowing Calgar and any survivors to escape to the battle barge. Upon the arrival of the Swarmlord, the Tyranids' tactics and ferocity increased, but the Ultramarines greatly underestimated this, and therefore Cold Steel Ridge was taken by the Tyranids. With Cold Steel Ridge taken by the Tyranids, they quickly advanced to the Polar Fortress, and during this battle, the first captain, Saul Invictus of the Ultramarines' First Company, fought against the Swarmlord and the Tyranids. In the end, however, the entire First Company was killed, and the official reports listed the Swarmlord as slain. Later on, during the Battle of Ikar IV, the Swarmlord was defeated once again, this time by Marneus Calgar. Many years later, the Swarmlord returned to attack the Imperium, leading the swiftest and greatest planetary invasions of Hive Fleet Leviathan. In the space of 4 months, the Swarmlord oversaw the absorption of 24 worlds, including Talon, the homeworld of the Storm Falcons, and Androgia, a major shipyard of the region. The latest Imperial reports indicate that the Swarmlord is assaulting the Orcish Empire of Octarius. Many Imperial reports also dictate that the Swarmlord was responsible for the scouring of the Megair system, the complete destruction of the Bainar race, and the consumption of Wa Gogluk. And with that, we have seen and heard all the accomplishments of the Tyranids' fiercest warrior, the Swarmlord. Let me know what you guys thought about this four-bladed beast in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to One Mind Syndicate for more epic 40k content. You guys can always head on over to our Patreon page where you can pledge a single $1 a month to help us bring you more epic 40k content. And as always guys, you know me as a Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.